Hey love bugs, welcome back to the channel. It is Love Sims here, and I am back in The Sims 4 bringing you guys a tour video. So this is going to be a quick little tour just of some progress that I've been making in my newest save file. This save is going to be a base game only save file. I've done a couple in the past, but we're doing a brand new one because my build style has changed just a little bit. I'd say it's slightly improved, and I just had some new ideas, and it was just time for a new one. And I really wanted something to come back on. I wanted to come back kind of hard, and I think we're achieving that with this particular save. So one change that I did make in doing this save file is that decided to start in Willow Creek first. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kyo. I go by Love Sims YT here on YouTube, and I make Sims 4 content. So that just includes build tours, save files, create a Sims, and hopefully some speed builds in the future. I always say that, but I'm such a slow and indecisive builder that I just haven't built the courage up to do that yet. But back to this video. So as you can see, I've completed a few builds. I still have quite a bit to go, but today we're going to focus on this downtown area. It is 4 lots, but we have we have 8 venues that we're going to be showing. And then I was going to show you this lot up here, Birdie's Bar and Motel, but I think I'm going to save that for another video where we kind of go into the lore just a little bit, because I really want this build to be focused on the lore. I don't typically do that. I typically just go for interesting builds and, like, I've never really, I might have like some general basic stuff, but I don't deep dive into it. And this time I'm deep diving, and let me tell you, there is some tea in this town, okay? Like, there's so much to tell you guys, but for now, we're just gonna stick with the showcase. So let me quickly go into a tab mode sort of deal. It might not be so quick getting over to our actual first lot, but as you can see, this is it's our cafe and comic book store. So let me kind of go down. I'm going to try to go into tab. We're going to try to tour it in tab mode. If I'm struggling, which more than likely I will, then we'll kind of go a different direction. But just bear with me. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my channel and checking out this video in particular. I've been away for a while, so um, I just knew I had to come back and do my due diligence, and I really am hoping that this is it for you guys. So when you first come in, this is what it looks like. This is Cup of Joe. Best in town, as you can see. I decided to try to stick with Willow Creek vibes. So, like, the architecture, the decor, the furniture. It's not necessarily my cup of tea, but if I was going to live in a town like this, then I would like the way that this is set up. So that's kind of what we're going for, just a vibey small town feel. That's maybe the people are trying to keep it alive by modernizing a couple things, doing some renovations. And if you read the lot descriptions for some of these, you'll notice that the owners are trying to bring Sims to these lots by giving them new life through renovations or whatever little ideas that they have. So this space right here, I imagine, would be great for like some speed dating. One thing about me, whenever I create a save file, I'm always thinking about storytelling and gameplay ideas, especially as a Let's Player and a content creator for YouTube. You have to have storylines and backdrops and things like that. So I try to consider that as I'm building. But this is just our little barista station. If you have um, Get Together, I believe, is what came with the coffee stuff, or like the barista stands and all that, then I try to make things easily upgradable. So this is our little internet cafe sort of room. We've just got some computers along the walls, and over here in the center, I love it. It looks so good. And one thing that really helped these builds come to life and just, oh, Guys, do not underestimate the power of a gallery build or artwork. There are so many creative people who think of things that you might want, need, can't achieve, for yourself or through just regular in-game stuff. And this sign was perfect. The only thing I don't like about it is it says Wi-Fi free inside, and we are inside, but just ignore that. So on this wall, we've just got a couple of restrooms, nothing too crazy, so I won't, go in there, but that's that. I do not know how to climb stairs, so give me a second while we go upstairs. So when you get up here, it's very simple, but I love this space. So when you first come up, I imagine the poster on the wall just kind of talks about their new open mic nights, and that's kind of what this space is. So when you read the description for this build, it tells you that the owners recently did renovations on their upstairs to include a small stage, and that's what this is. So I just love it because it's very tight, but it's still spacious. It's just a very intimate vibe. So I imagine like my singer songwriter sims, entertainers, because I also try to focus on all of the careers, different types of careers, and just having places for your sims to do who have different skill sets or interests, having places where they can showcase those things or explore those ideas and things like that. So I just imagine that this would be a great first date experience. You can have a cup of coffee downstairs and then come up here for a show, or maybe you perform here and it's just easier because it's a small, intimate audience for you and you don't feel so bad. Like, just build your stage rep up, and I like it. I really do. I hope you guys like it too. Um, Let me show you real quick with the walls up. This is what it looks like. So vibey. I really, really love it. I'm playing around with lighting in these builds. Something else I typically forget to do or don't do, but I'm trying to focus on details with this save, especially since it's a base game save. You got to think about everything. So, this is our comic book store, and let me try to page down a little bit. When you go in here, it's really small, and these are simply paintings again off the gallery, but I thought it was a really cute concept, especially if you have get to work. It's easily convertible into like a little retail shop, and you could just set the comics for sale and your sims will come and buy them, and they can sit and read. Like, this is just a little sitting area where they can read the comic books and conversate with other sims who love comics. They can purchase the little action figures and maybe exchange those. So it's just a small bit of gameplay, but a nice little touch on things. I'm so sorry about the jittery camera, but yeah, there's that. So let's go to our next lot. All right, so here's lot number 2. This is our antiques floral shop and gym. So yeah. When I first built this lot, I really was not vibing with the antique shop. I'm not a person who likes a lot of clutter, and it was just giving old, dingy, more like thrift vibes. So I decided to go in and redo it, and now I am absolutely in love. It is definitely a place that I would like to tour as a sim, but also in real life. Like, if I went into a place like this, I would absolutely love it. So if you like antiquing, let me know how I did, because I've never really been into an antique shop, but I imagine that this is kind of what it looks like. So just organized chaos. I won't go too deep into like each little detail, but you can kind of see as we pass through. Um, what we have going on here. I think it looks so good. So while she doesn't have an actual register, she does, bookkeep and things like that. Maybe it's more of like a written sort of cashier type check checkout sort of thing. But we'll just kind of go around. Now, this side is the side that really did it for me, because at first it was still giving that old dingy vibe, but putting that pop of color, that feature wall, and just sticking with the gallery wall really upgraded this particular build and I just really fell in love. I love all of the little details, the colors, how everything just flows together. And there's a lot of different little trinkets from different things. I imagine that Sims from all over come and either donate here or pick up things for their own homes. So it's a pretty busy place and you get stuff from all over the world. And yeah, I just really like it. So we've got all of the art kind of on that wall. And then in here is kind of meant to be more for like the bigger furniture pieces type of deal. Right behind the clocks to the left is just a restroom to use for our patrons. And then out back is the little flower shop. I love it so, 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 so much. So I imagine you can come out here and just buy you some plants or some flowers. You can alter this if you have other packs, but for now, I think this looks really good. It gives off the vibe that I wanted. So we've got some cactuses, some little trees. We've got vases, beautiful vases for sale. Her prices are up on the board, and then some garden deck deco like stuff, the bird bath and things like that. I just really, really love it. And again, the gallery came in clutch because obviously I was looking for inspiration for a lot of these different things. And the two display stands at the back, those came from an inspiration build off the gallery. I liked what she did, but I wanted to create my own design around it. So I did use the idea for those bookcases as display stands. And then I kind of just added my own little touch with everything else. But that is this side of the lot. Let's quickly go over to the gym side now. Okay, and here we are on the gym side. So, one thing that I really like about these lots and how they turned out is I decided to maximize the space, make smaller lots within the lot itself, but then like just try my hardest to make things look a little bit unique, and I really love how it turned out. So I imagine that this particular part of the gym used to just be a boxing gym. It just used to be a boxing and training gym. So that's why the downstairs looks like this, but you can see some of the trophies that cuz I feel like we have a famous fighter that came from Willow Creek and he might live in town, either him or the coach. I don't know. Maybe the fighter went on to move somewhere else, but the coach still here coaching new Sims, perhaps. I'm not sure. But that's just what this area is. The boxing arena is off of the gallery. I did not build that, but I don't even remember what I typed to find that, but I just saw it and I fell in love and it gave me the idea for the rest of the build because I had something else, something a little more generic here, and then I saw that and I was like, yeah, we got to go this route. So for the more typical gym style, that's when you come upstairs. So this is kind of like again with the renovations or making things a little more new. We've just got the bar here where your Sims can make protein drinks once they hit a certain level in their fitness skill. And then we've got the weight machines and a couple of treadmills. And then just the showers. So again, it's small, but it does what it needs to do. And I really like it and I'm pleased with how it turned out. So I hope you guys liked it too. We're going to move on to our next build. Here we are at the Willow Creek Diner and Library. On the left side is our library, and then to the right, we have our diner again with those amazing signs off the gallery. So it just says, come in, we're open. And then as you can see, they are hiring. So if your Sims need a job, come on down, especially if they're starting culinary. That could be really cute just for gameplay and storytelling purposes. Maybe they decide to come down here and get a job or look for one. So we're moving kind of slow, but we're getting there. So the library, all of these builds are a little more on the smaller side because I am putting two builds on one lot, but it does what it needs to do. So more signs from the gallery, that little quiet please sign. I absolutely adore that. And then we've got this one over here that says reading is a passport to countless adventures. But all the little details are just really doing it for me, just creating a complete vibe for me. I absolutely love it. So while things look old, as you can tell from these computers down here, it still is giving life and like it's still thriving, a thriving community here. And I really, really love that. So I also love the sort of bookstore kind of setup or layout that I went with in here. I just like it a lot. And I hope you guys do too. So we even went with a little more modern art on the walls to kind of keep it from looking too old timey in here. I mean, let me know how I did. Is it giving old but new at the same time, or is that just me? Is it just my imagination? So when you go upstairs, sorry, this is gonna be a little awkward because I don't know how to page up and all that, but when you come upstairs, this floor is dedicated to the kiddos. So we have a science club, and this is where they meet. One of the places that they meet. So we've just got a little table for them to sit and do some studying, some homework, things like that. The couple science tables for them to play at. The element table is complete, so they can study the elements if you like. If you have the pack that gives you groups, this would be a great place for them to come. And then we've got a telescope out here so they can observe the sky. That can be one of their activities. Again, I really try to focus on other packs that you might have or obtain in the future and just give you as much gameplay as I can and opportunities to tell stories. So this space back here, it's pretty blank on the floor because this is our storytelling area. I imagine that the library hosts reading time and stuff like that. So we've got that set up for them. And then we've just got a small playpen sort of area for your more toddler age Sims and a computer for them to work on as well. And then just a bathroom. So that is that on this side. I really, really love it. I love all the colors and how it turned out. Okay, so this is our diner. I love it. It doesn't have booth seating, but it still gives the vibes that I wanted it to give. So I imagine this is a great place for like teens to come hang out. Ooh, sorry. We've got the little jukebox over there and our little hostess station. I love the little pig with the menu. He is so cute. I found so many like cool pieces that really just worked, especially once you start putting the gallery art in here, but it's a vibe. It's giving 50s diner and I love it. So, yeah, and it's definitely old because if you look at these prices, they're saying a hamburger is 30 cents. Like, I wish, okay? But that's this build. It's pretty simple, a very, straightforward to the point. You could sit back here at the bar or at one of the tables, and then back here, I just threw in a little like drop off location or loading dock, whatever you want to call it. But that is that. Let's go ahead and go to our next build. All right, so this is our final build on the tour because I do think I'm gonna wait and show you the other lot when in another video, just when I start to talk about the lore of the town. But this is our city hall or town, yeah, I'll say city hall and our cinema. So we'll tour the city hall first. I really am pleased with how this lot turned out as well. I'm pleased with how everything is turning out so far. I don't go in with much of a plan. I did plan like where I wanted things to be, but I didn't have much of a visual plan for anything. I just kind of just build whatever my hand builds. Like, wherever it takes me is where I go. So I didn't know how this build was going to look. I didn't have a vision for it, but it turned out amazing. So when you come inside, I imagine the little bulletin board just kind of tells you about some city jobs and, maybe some apartments or like housing, anything like that. To the right is where we hold our civil ceremony. So you can have your Sims come down here and get married. That's kind of the gist of why I wanted to create this. This is the purpose of this building mainly. Um, but then also just for some gameplay, if you are a content creator, these spaces are necessary. So when you come in here, this is the mayor's office. I don't know if it was wise for me to put it at the very front of the building with not much security around, but it's where it fit. So that's where I put it. I think it turned out great. If you go to the far right or the far left, those are just toilets. And oh, this room in here is the judge's chambers. So again, kind of simple, but again, storytelling, gameplay, whatever. And then you would go in here. Sorry about that brief cut. I got a phone call. But when you come in here, this is our courtroom. So, again, very small, intimate settings, I imagine. Just a small group of people here in the viewing gallery, and then of course your two tables for your two parties, and then the judge's desk. I love it. It's giving official without having all of the official um, stuff from the other pack. So I was pretty amazed myself as I was building this with what I could actually achieve in the base game. Oh, and then this room over here is the archives room. So this is where you would come if you wanted to kind of do some research on the town's history, or it's also like if you're a lawyer, maybe you have an assistant and they can come and do research for a case in this room. But it's just the archives room. So that is this side of the build. And now we'll look at the last sort of build on the strip, and that is our cinema, our movie cinema. So again, I really wanted to focus on places for teens, but for everybody, but teens, kids, um, adults, like young adults. I really try to focus on different life states. So we have a little fountain out front, and then this is where you would pick up your tickets at this little window. And then when you come inside, we've just got some of the movies, our newer movies on display here. This happened on accident. I was trying to do something different, and these frames looked so good, and it was giving Willow Creek vibes, that more old sort of flamboyant, like rich sort of feel, and I really loved it. So there's that. And then they're also showing a retro movie collection. So downstairs is more of the newer movies on display, and then upstairs you'll see some of the older flicks. So just more signage. We've got some restrooms over here, the little concession area, so you can see some of the drinks that we offer, and then our menu board. I imagine this place is kind of like movie tavern where you can sit down and have a meal, or you can get the normal concession type food. And then this section is just, we got a couple of the gaming rigs, so you can actually like play some games with your friends or by yourself while you wait in between. So it just makes it more of a teen hangout sort of vibe for me. And then when you come upstairs, this is uh just our bar. I put a bar up here because I imagine maybe like you have parents who are chaperoning their teens who are on a date, and they don't want to go into the movie room with them because we only have this one viewing room. So maybe they don't want to go into the theater room with them, but they want to like conversate and socialize with between with the amongst themselves, or like with other parents or other adult sims, so they can come out here and have a drink while their kids or their teens or whatever is watching the movie. So as you can see, we have some of the older flicks up here. I think that says Evil Dead 2 or maybe Evil Deed, girl, I don't know. And then we've got Indiana Jones and Ghostbusters, which is probably what I would be watching. And when you come inside, this is our viewing room. So I tried to set it up kind of like a theater here in where I live. So you come around this wall, and then the seats are there. I tried to put them up where you could see over everyone instead of just on a flat surface. I put them on platforms. And then we've just got our big screen here. So that is the end of this build, and that is the end of this video tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Um, if you did, let me know that you did by liking and leaving me a comment, letting me know which build was your favorite. Are you excited about the save file? What do you want to see next? Do you want to see more tours of the town builds? Do you want to hear more about the lore? Like, what are your thoughts? Um, Also, be sure to share and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.